Back to Volume 1 of the Adventures of Susan MeeLing, Scuba Diver Extraordinaire, or Extraordinaire, depends on how you choose to say it. 3 different volumes, still in volume number 1, written by Reverend MeeLing, Reverend Susan MeeLing, Lady Dori, Belle. I've had a few names. Still the same person. So, to 104 or 5. Let's see. No, I already did 104. So, on to page 105 of volume 1, chapter 1 through 4, or chapters. One time when I was at Seaside Beach after getting out of the water park to run to the ocean, after running across the wooden boardwalk, past the arcades, onto the sand, I had seen a group of people who were all swimming together. I felt the need to get out where they were as soon as I could. I could feel the waves kicking up a bunch and the current was getting stronger, and before I could get my feet into the water, I saw one person of that group go underneath the current. I swam out as fast as I could to pull the one male with light blue shorts, kind of a floral, almost Hawaiian pattern of design, out of the water to bring that male back to land. Then I ran back out to grab the other people who seemed to have the same issues at the time. When I had gotten all 7 of the people out of the water, the females seemed to be okay, but the male in the light blue shorts that I had gotten out of the ocean water had a funny color skin. While the group laid on the sand and no one else was around, as there were no lifeguards in that section, the only thing I could do that I could think of was to jump up into the air and then jump onto his stomach, which he coughed out a bunch of the water. Then I turned him over because the water was going back into his mouth and nose, but when he went back to look at me to see what I was doing to another person similarly, I was startled. I ran back to the water of the ocean. They all coughed a bunch of water out, and then I ran off further into the ocean because I did not know what happened to them, though later on I did hear something on the news about a rip current and some people who were back on land safely, and they didn't know how they got there. I ran back to the water park before any of them had sat up after a quick little swim in the ocean, though because that male's skin color went back to normal. I hoped they were okay, and though I did not go out of the water park at Seaside many more times after that because that scared me that much as a child. Though there were a few others which I had done such before then, it depended which year I had been to summer camp and what day of the week of which session I had gone to camp. If there are records from the Marlborough Recreation Summer Camp to those dates which I had been going to the summer camp, specifically at Seaside Waterworks, I guesstimate if there were any such occurrences additionally. Again, you found me. However, unlike back then, I guess one could joke. Now I can no longer camouflage the way I could blend into the crowds of people if I ran up to the shoreline as I once could. Not until a second or third grade did my biological parents put me into the YMCA to go through swimming lessons, which I went through the levels of the classes fairly quickly. I was able to float without any assistance. I was able to do the freestyle stroke, the backstroke on my own, and was advanced through the ranks of swimming. Quickly, the breaststroke became natural to me, and then when the butterfly and scissor kick strokes were taught to me, I breezed through those lessons quickly and then learned how to dive properly. The diving board was fun to learn. The official term was swan dive, though the speed board was a tad bit difficult for me to get used to because of the angle. When the time continued and passed by, and as the years went on, because before 6 months I was already in the top level of swimming, the further I could get into the ocean waters, the more fun I had. Being with the group of campers was fun, but none of them wanted to body surf, nor did they want to swim out very far, which bored me immensely, or tremendously. When at the local pool for Marlborough Township, the other female campers wanted to be Ariel because of the movie and tried to swim like her, which I tried to show them how mermaids actually swam and swim, but those particular people did not want to listen or pay attention to me. One of the camp counselors, who had gotten a tattoo on the top part of her foot, told me she thought I was like a fish out of water, as I told her as a joke, nope, I'm a mermaid out of water, and thus just a fairy, though I asked her a lot of questions about her tattoo. As I got older and continued going to camp, I did not see the scuba divers going out on the jetties anymore, and though at first I thought they were already in the water, after a while of not seeing them at all, I figured they went scuba diving somewhere else. However, I continued to swim out past the floating bobbers and buoys to jump and play while splashing around the ocean waters. The fish which swam around constantly changed from one visit to the ocean to the next, which always amused me. Then again, I have said for a long time, you cannot go swimming in the same water twice. The current always changes what will be there, and in turn, just like the currents of water, such is only the waters of what once was swam before. Another comment I had been made fun of for over the years, before and after my Palm Sunday 2000 head injury, but that especially. When I was either in 6th grade or going into 7th grade, whenever I was in 6th grade going into 7th grade or 7th grade going into 8th grade, I thought I had saw that male with the black pants and white button-down shirt with binoculars again. I had seen that male so many times, though I wondered if he was monitoring me or monitoring the scuba divers or both. That time he had a pastel-colored button-down shirt and a black pair of pants with a different set of binoculars, though his hair seemed to be just a little bit different. Though I thought he saw me for certain that time, then I climbed out of the water on top of the bowl lip, and while holding onto the cylinder with one arm, I waved at him with the other arm while holding onto the buoy. Again, he seemed to drop the binoculars. Different set. The first set was black, the second set was like a green and black. I tried to wave at him to invite him to go swimming with me because he seemed interested to go into the ocean, but when he dropped the binoculars again, I figured if he wanted to find me and let me know he wanted to go swimming. Either that or he was looking at someone else, or one of the flocks of birds or fish jumping out of the water nearby. Sometime around when I was either in 3rd or 4th grade, my biological parents took my biological sister and I to Washington, D.C., and we went to the aquarium to see the fish and animals of the area within. My biological parents and biological sister walked off, and I went to see the albino crocodiles. I don't need to read these ones, because I don't. So I show up to where the albino crocodiles are. There was this little itty bitty sign, and it said that their names were Getcha, Gotcha, and Good. I was like, oh, they're so cute. Little baby, so cute. So cute. Oh, they were so cute. Teeny, 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 tiny little baby TVs. Little baby TVs. Teeny, tiny. Sharp jaws. The teeny, tiny little baby TVs. Especially compared to some of the fish I had seen in the ocean by that time. And so it was just one of those, oh, aren't you cute? And like, I was really, really close to the glass, and they were swimming up and like almost fighting to be like, pay attention to me, pay attention to me, pay attention to me. And one guy comes over, and I'm standing there like, who's so cute? You're so cute. You're so cute. No, you're so cute. You are so cute. Yes, you are so cute. And he stands by me, and he's got like a big thing of keys, and he goes, yeah, what's going on? He goes, I think they're trying to eat you. And I'm like, no. Try to give me kisses. You keep going for my nose when I put it on the glass. They don't go for anywhere else with their noses. Like, you know, because like I just be like, And then they fight to who could be like nose to nose. And you're so cute. It's like, no, I think that they're trying to eat you. No, because if they were trying to eat me, they go yum. But they're not trying to do that. I'm trying to give kisses. And the guy was like, yeah, why don't you like go? Where are your parents? They're looking at something else. It was so cute. And the guy just looks at me. He's like, well, don't you want to see another aquarium? No, this one. They're cute. Look how cute they are. They're so cute. And he's just like, well, maybe some other people want to see the albino crocodiles too. I was like, that's fine. It's a big room. I'm just saying, it's a big room. It's a big tank. Baby crocodiles, they're so cute. And the guy was with the keys. There was a couple of guys with suits that start walking in, and I was like, "It's a baby. They're little babies. Can share, it's a room." And the guy looks at me, and I'm looking at him. And I go back to looking at the crocodiles. Well, in the reflection, I see him go to like a group of guys. And so there's one guy, he kind of had his arm like this the whole time. And he's like standing right next to me, and he's like, I guess I should do this quickly. He goes, what are you doing here? And I look at him, and I'm just like, I'm looking at the baby crocodiles. Aren't they cute? And he looks at me and goes, yes, ish. They're kind of. What is your name? Susan. Hi. And he goes, okay, well, hello. Don't you want to see one of the other aquariums with like other fish? And I'm like, no, because those are albino crocodiles. Do you know how rare those are? Like, they're really, really rare. I mean, it is technically a genetic thing, but they're really rare. They're like rare, really rare. And he looks at me and he's like, yes, the guys around him, they have these like white things in their ears, and they're like, it's like, I mean, they had more Gurrar faces than that. But I'm just like, so, they're cute. I mean, they're raw, but they're cute. And he's just like, okay, well, what's going on? Like, are you talking with them? And I'm like, yes, they were giving me kisses until the guy with the keys came in. And now they're just swimming around. And, they're not going to give me kisses with you guys here. And the guy looks at me and he's just like, what do you mean they're not going to? They're kind of shy, but I want to know which one's which. So I guess they'll at least let me know that. Do you want to know which one's which? And he looks at me and he's like, sure. What do you mean, which one's which? Well, there's Getcha, there's Gotcha, and Good. So, I want to know which one's which. You want to know which one's which too? And he looks at me, he's like, how do you think you're going to get them to tell you which one's which? And I'm like, because, they listen to me. And he goes, Oh, that's adorable. But if you really think they do, they listen to me. Okay, I'm telling you. And he's like, "Where are your parents?" And I don't know. They're somewhere in the aquarium with my biological sister. So I like these guys. They're cute. And he goes, "Okay. Well, if you think that you can get, I don't think I know." Okay. Well, um, which one do you think is which? And I was like, oh, they're gonna tell me. You want to see? He goes, um, sure. Why not? Okay, go ahead. And I'm like, okay, watch. In the reflection of the glass, I see the guys that are all like, and they all go. I go, okay, which one of you three is Getcha? And three start swimming around, and then Getcha gets out, and he goes on top of the rocks, and he comes out like, that one's Getcha. And he just kind of, oh my God. And I go, so you want to watch? Which one of you is Gotcha? And they swim around, and Gotcha comes out, and Getcha is on one side, and he's just like, look how pretty I am. Look. And then Gotcha gets out of the water, and he climbs on or waddles or whatever on the rock, and he's like, I'm Gotcha. Yes, I'm Gotcha. And the guy looks at me, and he's like, oh my God. And I go, so that one's good. But if you want, good, I want to see you. And Good just swims around a little bit, and then he gets out, and just like, that's right, Good. I mean, he didn't do that, but he might as well have. And I look at the guy, I'm like, see, told you they listen to me. Okay, you guys can get back in the water. One at a time. Don't you get in each other's way. And Getcha gets in the water, and he just swims around like, come and give me a kiss, and he puts his nose right there. On the glass. I'm like, yes, you a cute little Getcha. Yes, you are. You're such a cute little Getcha. And the guy looks at me and goes, oh my God, are you really doing that? And I'm like, he's giving me kisses. It's technically him doing that. Don't be rude. He just goes, really? Really, little girl? I am not that little. I'm just short. Very size. Thank you very much. And he looks at me, he's like, oh, okay, sure. Oh my God, if that's what you call it, okay, oh my God. And the guys in the suits are just like, it's like, and only one of those guys was like, and I was like, okay, next. And then Gotcha gets in the water and swims around, give me kisses, and Gotcha comes up. And the guy's looking at me, he's like, oh my God, really? This is really happening? I'm like, what? I just showed you, told you I could talk with them. They listen to me. He's just like, yeah, oh my God, I see that. Yes, I see that. I mean, yes, oh my God, I see that. And I'm like, well, Good, come here, Good. And then Good jumps in the water, comes here, snuggles, and the guy's just looking at me, he's like, yeah, so that just happened. And I'm like, yeah, it did. You saw it with your eyes. You heard with your ears, right? And he looks at me, he's like, do you know who I am? No, I'm Susan. And he's like, oh, you're gonna shake my, you're gonna shake my, you know how to shake hands. Oh, okay. Yes, I do. Nice to meet you. I don't remember what his name was. I think it might have started with an R, but I don't remember. And not to be mean, It's just, I had a head injury on Palm Sunday in 2000, so, you know. But then I walked up to the guys that are all grrr, and just grrr with the little thingies in their ear. And I'm like, hi, I'm Susan. And they're just like, they look at the guy who's like this, and he's like, well, or I'm sorry, hold on. Well, you know, and don't disappoint her, apparently. I'm like, nice to meet you. And then, you know, got to shake all their hands, and they're just like, well, they didn't giggle. That's me. And I'm like, aren't they cute? And they're just like, yes, ma'am. And I'm like, you're cute, but do you like babies? They're just like, they keep looking at the guy who's like this, and they're like, are we in that? And he's just, and I'm just like, they are cute. I mean, they're vicious. They are so vicious. I mean, they will tear some flesh. Oh! But they are so cute, aren't they? They're just so cute. They go snuggle, snuggle, snuggle. And the guys are just like, yes, ma'am, yeah. And the guy's like, all of them, they were either like, or, I'm just like, cutie, cutie, cutie. Don't you just want to pinch your little noses? And the guy goes, no, I don't want to pinch their noses. I've had a few situations where I don't want to pinch their noses. And I was like, but they're so cute. No. But oh my God, you want to do that? Yes, because look, they're so cute. Don't you want to just go, who's such a cutie? He's like, yeah. No. Do you know what they do? Yes, I do. They are fast. Oh, they're fast. Oh, they are so fast. They go, and they can run. And when they get a hold of their prey, they don't let go. They do not, they will, Do you mind if I use certain language with you, sir? And he's just like, you know, oh my God, go ahead. I'm like, when they get a hold of their prey, they will fuck that shit up. I mean, they will fuck that shit up. And he just looks at me, he's like, oh, how old are you? Then however many years old I was, I put it up with my he's like, and the one that he was like, and then like a year later, there was like the presidential fitness test. But anyway, so, you know, so going back to this. And so, yeah, it was pretty cool. And then, and then there was, I showed them what I could do with the dog-faced pufferfish. Because there was an aquarium that had a dog, and I put my finger in the glass and I go in a circle. Although I do that in like aquariums anywhere, like pet stores. I just put my finger around the glass, and put it on my finger, and the dog, it's always the dog-faced pufferfish. It's never any other fish. It's always the dog-faced pufferfish. Where I'll put my finger and I'll go like this in a circle. And instead of like, I call them the hovercraft fish. And because instead of like following like that, the dog-faced pufferfish, and then like once they get to a certain point, they go in. They always make me laugh because they're so cute. And they got a little teeth, and they're so cute. And yeah, I'm that person. Yeah, there are a few other things. But yeah, that guy with his arm that was like this over his belly, it was one of those, yeah, I'm telling you, in the country, you don't know. Oh no. It was an interesting time. So then, yeah, oh, I think I missed some points. So, alright. Then a little bit later, I started going to Baptist Camp Lebanon, which several years down the line. And when it came to the swimming test, so I got really, I don't need to. So I got really bored, like really quickly. Like my first test, the first year, it was like, oh, you have to doggy paddle. It's like, okay. And they're like, you have to do it for like, you have to tread water. I think it was for like 3 or 5 minutes. And it's like, really? Just to go in the deep end? That's what you gotta do? I mean, I've only swam in the ocean. You know, I'm just saying, like, swimming in the ocean it's a lot more difficult than swimming in a lake. And they're like, yeah, well, you know, right. So the first test, you know, like, first year's test, I'm like, all right, well, after like a few, I don't know how long, but it was just, all right. All I have to do is keep my head out of the water, and I'm good. And they're like, yeah, as long as you don't like have like where we have to go in and get you. And it's like, all right, fine. So like I put my arms behind my back, and I was just like, ooh. And then that got boring. So then I tried doing it where I pretended my legs were like tied together, and like I did this little twisted thing. I'm just like, and then that got boring really quickly. And it's like, this is not difficult at all. Okay, well, let me try with my hands out of the water. Okay, well, that's boring. Okay, well, then what else can I do? How much longer? And they're like, you still got 2 minutes. I was like, oh, really? All right, well, figure something else out. So then I was like, I tried keeping my legs together and then keeping my arms down at my side, and I'm just, but I didn't move my legs, and just, how many more minutes? So then by the next year, it's just like, oh, again? So yeah. But on that particular note, I'm gonna end this particular video. You know, share and subscribe to my channel, official videos and stuff, and go to my website, www.susanmeeling.com.